Hey guys, it's Tim and Lindsay here. We are so excited to be with you in the car and just come in alongside you guys to hopefully encourage you guys and continue to just share who we are, how we've gotten to the place that we are now. And yeah, we're just really excited to be with you guys today.
Absolutely.
So,
Beautiful sunny day. It's getting a little colder, but it's been a beautiful day.
with our little like flannel
Fall.
type fall vibes. Well, we are going to finish is the goal today, our story about how we got to Tennessee.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited to share this with you guys because it has just been such an amazing, pivotal thing in our life. And so obviously, if you've been following along, thank you so much. You know that we ended last time with just saying how we basically walked in some obedience. We heard from the Lord, and we decided to pick up and move us and our 3 kids all the way across the country from Washington State to Tennessee. And we ended with literally like showing up in Tennessee. So super excited to just share the Tennessee side of this story.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start with literally the place where we'll start where we got here. Again, if you didn't know, we didn't see our house. We had no idea what we were walking into. And yeah, we showed up, we signed the papers, we got the house.
Yep.
And then from there, we walked into our home that was empty. We'd only brought our car and our kids and our dog, literally. And so then we had nothing. It was all in a moving truck that we had packed up. And so that's kind of like a sore subject, not really anymore, but it's a sad story, great story at the same time because God's the Redeemer.
That's right.
But basically, in short-ish, is when we knew that we were going to be moving, it was during the time where everybody was moving, so like moving trucks, all of that was such a thing, and it was a catastrophe,
Yes.
to say the least. Basically, like I had went and I had found like the box U-Haul option, and it was gonna cost like $8,000, and Tim was like, I can do it better. Found it better, but it ended up not being better. It ended
Absolutely
up being
not.
way
Worse.
worse.
But I think again, just to see God move through it.
Yeah.
For me, again, this really began as a journey for redemption, to get to spend time with my kids and to make memories and really just kind of feel like a start over moment.
Mm-hmm.
An Abraham moment where I feel like I heard from the Lord.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you to this land I show you. Like, I have promises for you and for your
Mm-hmm.
children. Now just follow me in obedience, and just to know we could take our time on the move, make a few stops.
Yeah.
Obviously we homeschooled before homeschooling was a thing, but that's blowing up. But just being able to put it practically in their life, take them through some history, some parts of the country that I never got to travel as much as you did as a kid. But just to do that with my kids,
Right.
and say, hey, I don't know what Tennessee's going to hold for us, but we're doing this, and I need you guys just to believe in me and to believe that God is in this and going to do something miraculous in and through us.
Yeah.
If you can just believe.
Yeah.
And get to really walk that out in a real way was phenomenal.
Yes. So then from there, I think it was just amazing because, we didn't have our stuff for 5 weeks. 5 whole weeks we did not have stuff. And we brought, like, the main things.
Yep.
Or, like, we were bringing the main things.
And we're going to buy a lot of stuff once we got here. Like, we didn't have a lot. Our move wasn't...
It was basically our clothes.
57-foot tractor trailer full of stuff.
It was basically, like, a bin of clothes per person, I think each person had like a tote of like we have our baby boxes. The kids is. We had a couple things of my mom's.
Yeah.
We had a couch.
Just the important stuff.
Yeah. So it was like we didn't have a ton of stuff, yet we did have like a lot of stuff that were meaningful to us. And so, yeah, we knew that like we were going to have to buy some things, but it was kind of this like crappy situation of just feeling like we were going to have to wait on this stuff to buy stuff, if that makes sense. And so anyway,
so I think see our house, see how we want to decorate it.
Yeah.
So we bought this house based on pictures and photos and
it was in the framing stage when we bought it.
Great market at the time, like right before I think the huge increase in prices, especially for Tennessee. And
yeah.
It was all faith.
Yeah. So 5 weeks without stuff. We lived very minimally. We spent probably the first 2 weeks mainly on air mattresses until we bought Bentley's bed. Then we just slept on his bed while everybody else, the kids all slept on air mattresses. So it was a thing. It ended up costing us way more than it was supposed to. It was that was not a fun experience to have to go through.
Oh, they're always fun. You just gotta have the right perspective.
Okay. Fine. So anyway, we finally get our stuff. We're attending a church. You start your job. We're traveling with the kids, doing things that we never thought that we would be able to do, and just really soaking in the time. So yeah, I mean, Tim was working 4-10s. We have more time. We are being intentional with like, it's summertime, so we're just like spending time at the lake, which we learned really fast. We are not lake people here in Tennessee. Kind of weird. Snakes, turtles, all the things. Yeah, not a fan. So we learned very quickly we're not lake people here. But we are pool people still, so that works. And then just enjoying the time together. And
I think it was cool to connect with your family in Missouri. So that first.
Oh my goodness, we went so many times.
Yeah, just being able to reconnect and mend that relationship while making new relationships here. I mean, this is the Bible Belt, and people are extremely friendly, and just being able to really see, okay, God, where are you in every relationship?
Yeah.
And just to know, like, it felt like for a while, every person was a godsend. I think we tell them that, like, I think when you're living that out and you're realizing the move and the whole process that we've shared, it just gives so much more meaning to the things that God is trying to walk you through.
Right.
So I think just creating a lot of those really just foundational relationships and just being, wow, like these people are amazing, and trying to find ourselves. And for me, it was just this huge transformation of like getting myself out of the normal grind. It's very hard for me to sit still and not think I have to work and produce and do all these things, and felt really good just to feel appreciated. And not that I didn't back home, but just in a new way of like, it's not just about what I can do and how fast and how much, but
like you said, it was starting over.
Yeah. And then just learning how to have a relationship with you and the kids. That was brand new to me.
Yeah. Yeah, like super intentional relationship. Yeah. Yeah, so we basically, I would also say that like, I think being in that like mindset of just like, I can't believe we're living this life almost, that then anybody that would come into our life like relationally, it was like not only were they a godsend, but like we were just so grateful and so thankful. Yet I would say, like, looking back, I can only think of like 2 relationships that have stuck this whole 4.5 years. And not that like that's bad. I think there's times and seasons, right? But just to know that like we were so hungry for a relationship and like so willing to do whatever to have a relationship that like nothing else mattered.
Yeah. Well, for sure. I mean, it's not about the quantity. I wasn't trying to make it sound like we had all these, but I think like you're saying, right? Like God will work through and know the ones that are meant to last and the ones that are meant to really be there. And it's not trying to put levels to people in relationships, but just knowing that, like,
well, yeah, because everybody has lives, everybody goes through things, everybody has things. Like, yeah, you're growing with people, or you're growing apart. Like, and that's okay. That there's nothing wrong with that. Again, like I said, I think there were seasons for it, but I think just knowing that we so badly like desired to be in community, that almost at times too, we may, like, looking back, obviously hindsight's always 20/20.
Right.
Looking back, we probably could have spent that time trying to be a little bit more intentional in some other areas with the Lord. But knowing that, like, it's not like we were operating in a way that was wrong or anything like that. But basically we were super relational mindset. Like, that was our focus. Get our kids in community, get us in community, like, live life to the fullest with like-minded people. We are in the Bible Belt now, and it's very different than the West Coast. Well, and also, let's just be clear, like, sure, we're West Coast, but we're really like the Pacific Northwest. I mean, it's its own area, it's its own thing. It's same but different.
Yeah.
And so I think coming to the Bible Belt and just seeing how friendly people are, but then realizing, like, not everybody wants relationships. Like, they don't want to be that deep.
I would say that. I think they do. It's just the depth is a little hard to navigate.
And, like, where we come from, it's like depth. It's like ride or dies. And yeah, it's few. But so that transition was a little bit harder, especially for the kids.
Yeah. I think especially when you're searching for those types of people, they're so far and few between.
Yeah.
It can give you the perception that it's, oh yeah, it's like this ride or die. And not to say that it's not, but it's really like the whole family orientation.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you're really building kind of your tribe and your people.
So we attended a big church here. Definitely felt like the Lord, when we visited, that's where we wanted to be. We felt like that's where our kids could, like, plug in. The transition for them especially was going to help that transition, and it so did.
Right.
I feel like the heart of the children's pastor there is just, he's so loving and kind, and, like, wants these kids to know who Jesus is. He wants them to know how to speak to him, how to have a relationship, how to pray, how to intercede for others. Like, not to just be confined by an adult. Like, the way that he loves on all of these kids, and it's a big church, so there are a lot of kids, is incredible. I will always forever be so grateful for him and his wife and what they've done. And so obviously getting plugged in there and just really loving that intentionality, to also be able to give back, and then to
I think for the first time, again, if for a restart, and just, like, that was probably almost some of the better things that I felt God really just do, is, like, I didn't have to tell everybody my past, but I could really evaluate where God was through all that, and know how to move forward with, like, all old things are past, the new has come,
right,
and really, like, walk that out practically, and feel a different level of confidence, like, no, I am worthy. God did bring me here for a purpose. And not to be prideful or boastful of, like, oh, look at me, but just to be hungry for that true desire, and then surround yourself with good people and begin to see God use everything like a stepping stone.
Yeah, that's good.
That's what he really, I think, was beginning to show us.
Yeah, so we got involved in the children's ministry and in the youth ministry, and because the deal was, if we were going to serve together.
That's right.
And kids has always been my heart, and youth has always been your heart. And so as much as I was like, I do not want to serve in youth, I was like, okay, but we made this deal, and, like, we're going to do it. And I'm so grateful that the Lord, one, just is so intentional with me to remind me of, like, who's leading me and to trust you. Because, I mean, without that, we're not standing in what we're standing in now.
Right.
Well, I mean, like, it wouldn't make sense, but God is God.
That's right.
But like in my natural mind, it wouldn't make sense. And so basically where I'm like kind of like going in that is just, so we ended up getting connected in the youth, and I loved it. And I'm going to tell this story because I know that they're going to watch this, and that it matters to me. Like, not because they're going to watch this, but it does matter. Like, this is how it's touched my heart. Yeah. And I've told people this story. Is that, so we were, I don't know, it's probably like our second or third time being in youth. And I remember that Tim was always late because he had to come from work. And so I was always there before he was. And I was sitting in the back because that's typically where I sat. And there was this row of kids in the front, and like that was like the goody good kids. And I'm gonna say that because like a lot of them are gonna watch this and they're gonna know what I mean.
Soon to be student leaders.
Yeah, like they were the kids. And anyway, I remember watching them and just constantly praying for them, even though they were in a room full of kids who didn't believe, didn't understand, were just showing up for the free food, the free things, like for real, like there wasn't a lot of kids that wanted to be there because of Jesus. And so, but this row of kids did. And I remember praying for them, just feeling like God put a burden in my heart for them of, when you pray for them, pray what you know you've gone through as a kid who grew up in church and maybe doesn't have this crazy testimony, or just doesn't always see your hand moving the way that all these other kids might. And so the Lord just kept putting these like burdens on my heart to pray for them like that. And I would, but I would never do it like to them.
Yeah.
And because our relationship wasn't like that yet. But I remember this specific day when I was doing this, I was in it, I was praying for them, and the Lord really illuminated two of them. And it happened to be that they were dating. And I remember just looking at them, and I was like, you know, going through the whole like, oh, she's like too good for him, or like, oh, he's just a jokester, you know, just these things that you go through because you can put yourself back into, you know, senior year of high school dating.
Right.
And actually I think it was junior year, but anyway, not the point. And I remember that the Lord was like, I need you to have a heart for them like I've had a heart for you and Tim. And I was like, whoa, like that broke me in the moment.
Yeah.
Like God was like, you need to be interceding for them like you were so willing to intercede for your marriage at a young age for Tim. And what you've continued to do throughout your marriage for you and Tim.
Yeah.
And so I remember you walked in and I was like, hey, like, do you see those two right there? We've got to be praying for them. Like, there's something about them. We need to be intentional there. Right. And you were like, you kind of knew the kid, and, you know, you're like, he's just a typical, like, teenage boy, whatever. And not that you didn't take it seriously, because I know you do, but kind of the same thing of, like, what in the world, God? Like, why? Well, if you fast forward, and I'm going to fast forward because we can come back, but we basically, from that moment to almost a year later, we start having coffee. I start having coffee with these girls. About 6 months goes by. We end up starting a small group in our house of young adults.
Yep.
And they are actually that row ends up being majority of the kids that I was meeting with. The girls were meeting, I was meeting them for coffee, and like this was like our intentional time. And then it was like, bring your boyfriends, and we started a young adult group in our house.
Yep.
So like just in that moment, to be obedient, to be like, I don't understand why I'm praying for them. Like, high school love is nothing. And then, which isn't true, because if you know our story, that is not an actual, like, but how, like, yeah, I could have just been like, oh, you know, it's just high schoolers. Like, no, that can't be God. Like, just to know how intentional, like, being in that moment was, and
right.
And to get to watch the growth that came from it, and like the goodness. And they're two people that, you know, we get to walk with, and you know, I love her dearly, and it's one of, you know, my favorite coffee dates that I get to go do each week. But
well, yeah, they end up being the first wedding I get to officiate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so fun. But anyway, so yeah, just like God so used the obedience is what I'm going to come back
That's
to.
Right.
Of like, we just want to be a part. And I think that's really just like our heart posture in general. Like, we just want to be a part. We tell our young adults that all the time. Like, this isn't about us, but it is about the fact that we just want to be willing and a part of whatever.
That's right.
And I feel like that is continually our prayer. Like, God, just give us people, give us things to be a part of, not to glorify us, but just to continually walk with people, to show up, just like you show up for us and you walk with us.
That's right.
And
anything to further the kingdom.
Yeah. And so anyway, so we're helping at the church. We decide about a year into going to the church, we've decided like we're gonna have a baby. Bentley turns 10. Excuse me. And
I'm getting old.
Oh my goodness, stop it. I turn 30, Bentley turns 10. We literally in that time span decide we are no longer done having children, we are having a baby. And in that time period, in that 6 month time period, it was, I guess it's 5 months, we were like back and forth of like, I wanted baby, you were like, but da 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 da, and then you'd be like, okay, I'm ready, I want to have baby, and I'd be like, but da 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 da, and like we were never like on the same page. And I'm so glad we didn't rush it in its timing. And so yeah, so then Bentley turns 10. And I mean, it was literally on his birthday. I will never forget that. Like on his birthday, he turns 10, and I was like, Tim, I really think I want to have a baby. And you were like, I think we're supposed to have a baby.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, we're having a baby. Okay. And so,
well, some of that just started from just trying to get you a little healthy physically.
Yeah.
You know, just
yes.
trying to
True.
Get your body right. And I mean, it had been what, at that point, 6 years? Jordan was 6?
7.
So, I mean,
well,
you were used to going back to back to back with kids.
Yeah, right. My body definitely
a little adjustment
was struggling just to regulate normally.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, yeah, going into that is a whole thing in itself. But yeah, so we decided we're gonna have a baby. Like, why not?
Let's do this.
And so it did not take long. We were pregnant. So basically, from Bentley's birthday, which is always around Mother's Day, to Father's Day, I was like, Tim kind of joked that morning and was like, the best Father's Day present you could get me is a positive pregnancy test. And so I had already bought a test.
I prophesied.
And so I'd already bought a test, and I took the test, and yeah, it was positive.
Ding 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 ding.
We have a winner. And so then
we have a Mateo.
So then from there, I am always, every pregnancy I've had, I'm like sick as a dog the first trimester to 14 weeks. And so of course I was sick as a dog, and we had to tell the kids, because they're like, mommy only gets up out of bed, sits on the couch, does nothing until you get home, daddy, and then she goes back to bed. So they were a little bit concerned and like, what the heck is going on? And so then we had to tell them. They were so excited. And yeah, so then we found out we were having a little boy. We're going to name him Mateo, which is Spanish for Matthew. And so that means gift from God. And he totally is.
Totally.
Like, I think too, just growing up, we always thought we'd have 4 kids. That's what we've always said. When my mom died and we were pregnant with Jordan, and then I had Jordan, it was just kind of like, hey, Tim, like, I can push through a lot of things, but I don't think I can push through doing this again.
Yeah.
Like, please don't ask me to do this again. And your willingness to just be like, that's fine. Like, it's not about what I want. It is about like what is best overall. And then to know that in 7 years that we have a baby, and obviously not that it wasn't hard and not that it didn't bring its own challenges,
right.
But like to know that he is the true gift from God, and like that that little boy in our house, not even in our house, anybody who's around us, that little boy gets what he wants. It does not matter.
That's
like,
true.
I'm a little bit concerned because we never raised any of our other children like this. But the older kids have now figured out, because he says he wants to go to Chick-fil-A all the time, every day. He does not understand that Sundays Chick-fil-A is closed. And so he's so sad. But basically the older kids have figured out that if they get him to say Chick-fil-A, they will get Chick-fil-A too. So they are now in this manipulation process. No, but it is so fun. Life without Mateo, I can't picture it. sure, it's hard having a toddler when you have 3 older kids who are just like in it, doing all the things. But they love him so well. They love him so deep that, yeah, I would never change it for anything.
Definitely works.
Yeah. So
family dynamic works.
Yeah. So, but in this process of having, like, so we get pregnant, and then the Lord totally like shifts us, and He's like, you're going to be walking into a new season of life. And we're thinking Mateo, right? We're thinking we're having a baby. Duh, Lord. Like, and the Lord is like literally showing us. He just was like revealing so many things that He was just like pulling things back in front of our eyes, that it was like, oh my goodness, we have to move in the direction that He's calling us to. Yeah. And so, so basically we end up changing churches. It has nothing to do with like the church itself, nothing at all. We love the people in that church. It was not about that. It was literally just about the things that God was like revealing to us and showing us. Yeah. And where He was trying to draw us to. So, so we basically moved churches in December time. I'm pregnant, about to have Mateo. And so very like odd time to start a new church, start a new thing, and walk in that. But we did it. And we immediately, of course, people who long for relationship, we immediately get plugged in with helping and just being a part. And that was a season of serving and really just like getting, we were involved in everything.
Yeah. I love it because the first time we visit, there's a word spoken over our life, and it's about trust. Mm-hmm. It's about that we're going to be able to take people and be on the edge of a cliff. Yeah. And that they're going to be willing to entrust us with their life. It was like this picture. Mm-hmm. And I think that was just like, not just timely and not just simple confirmation, but like a real re-identification. It was kind of our declaration over our life that like there's something in us, and again, not to make this about us, but that God has orchestrated for others. Yeah. It's never about us. Right. And I just love that now. Fast forward even a little further to where we're at and what God led us through, knowing that it just start in like hearing His voice a little more clear. Yeah. And not understanding like it doesn't have to always be through a prophetic word. I mean, because God was already confirming things and God was already speaking to me, but He uses people. Yeah. And when He wants something to come forth, it's going to lead us into action. Mm-hmm. And so I think, it really just kind of propelled us like, whatever gift this is, Lord, we want to make sure that we're not going to hinder it. We're not going to be disobedient. Yeah. And we had to try things. We had to, and it did seem for a while like we're doing everything. Right. But I don't think I regret those moments. No, still. I don't. And even through all like the hard times, it was so good to see what God was doing. And there's been a level of grace. I always tell this to people who kind of hear my story, is like, God has always been just so gracious. I know He is gracious, but like evident graciousness on my life to see where He's leading me. And He'll light this thing up in its due time, and I can follow it. And then He'll light this thing up in its due time. And it's amazing because it's not straight and it's not perfect, but I know that it's Him. Mm-hmm. And so I just love the relationships that we got to build through it, and we still have. Yeah. Trying to just say, okay, Lord, like, what is this and what does it look like? Right. Because anybody who knows me, I'm timid and I'm shy, and things have to be kind of pulled out of me.
And he's married to a loud, bold, strong person.
But I think every time I just heard those small whispers of like, you're ready, mm-hmm. you're ready. And it was just kind of like, I knew what that meant in those moments. And I think after hearing that word and kind of that night of like, this is where you need to be. And here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, so then we are involved. So let's go to that spring. We have a baby. We're involved in let's see, youth, kind of like what was a little bit young adults, young and married. I don't know. It was a lot. Like, it was just what we needed. Yeah. We were helping with that. And then we were involved in kids ministry. We were getting asked to help with the college ministry. What else am I missing?
Well, that period, like, our church moves.
So we're involved in you were involved in the load in, load out team.
Yep.
Mind you, while we have a tiny baby and 3 kids that we just moved them from their church where they have all these friends, community, in a lot of different ways. And then it's smaller and it's different. It's just different. Different. But anyway, and so we did that for a solid like 9 months, and while the kids were playing sports, while we were coaching, like, that was crazy. I was just kind of thinking about that. Like, how did we live through that? Honestly, I'm kind of like, wow. But I guess the Lord just knew that he had to teach us how to be really, really, I mean, I think what he did was he had to teach me how to be really organized and what we were saying yes to. But yeah, so then we decide to kind of like step away from everything. Can't help with everything because, of course, you know, being intentional with what you're saying yes to is so important. And obviously just had a baby.
Yeah.
Like, there was that factor in that as well. But then, yeah, so Bentley gets involved. I think this is really cool because, like, back home, you know, I mean, I bet you now they have this, but like they didn't. We never heard of it. But yeah, so there's like a nationwide like covering of I don't know how to explain that nationally, but basically, so the kids now play for a homeschool basketball program. It's an organization that is a nonprofit, and they get to play basketball, but it's kind of like travel or select, depending on what word you use. Back home, we say select. Here, they say travel. It's kind of weird, but same thing. And there's no parameters of like who you can and can't play, other than like there are people within this national level organization that you can play locally.
I mean, there's some structure. You gotta have conference and regional.
Right. So, but like they can still play public school teams, they can play private school teams, but yeah, there are like, I think in our, what's first conference, there's only like 5 teams.
Right.
And I think the closest one is 2 hours away. Like they're all kind of like, so they're not like close, but they're close. So anyway, I think it's just really cool because you have to be homeschooled to play, which makes it fun. And so, yeah, but so like our specific organization, because not all of them are this, but ours is a Christian homeschool basketball program. And I love it because, of course, if you know me, you know that I grew up playing select softball my entire life. So my literal life was, there was no beginning and no end. It just kept going. And so I think it's just kind of fun to get to relive that with your kids, but then also learning like what you say yes to is important, what you're gonna like have structure around, because my personality is like go all in, do all the things, just make it happen. And in this season, I'm learning like, okay, there's other things that we can do as well that are just as important. We're not just gonna be so consumed by just ball. But getting to like live that life with our kids, especially Bentley, has been, because the girls is a little bit different and low key right now, but like, yeah, getting to do that with Bentley has been so fun.
Super fun.
Like so fun and enjoyable. And it's basketball, which we never thought that he would play basketball, because I mean, you're a football player and a baseball player, and I'm a softball player, so like I thought baseball would have been his thing, which he did try baseball, but he just loves basketball. But what I love about it is, like, again, it takes me back to us being kids. What did we always do for fun? We played basketball. And so it is just kind of like
first love.
Yeah, but for real, like it is.
I think there's still hope for football.
No, that's probably not gonna happen. But anyway, so yeah, so we switch churches. We take a period of time where it's like stepping back, reevaluating, reanalyzing things in our life, what we're saying yes to. Our relationship with the Lord during this time really got deep. It it may have looked like we retracted on the outside, but really inwardly we were like pressing so hard into our identity, the things that God has placed inside of us, using our gifts for the alignment that He has for us, not just forcing things.
Well, yeah, I think it's so easy to think, okay, move across the country, new area, and to know like you still bring those things that you struggled with.
Right.
And so until you really learn what a true heart of repentance looks like, what a true renewing of your mind looks like.
Yeah.
I think we quickly found, especially me as the head, found myself again in a state of doing.
Yeah.
So here's a perfect opportunity where God said, hey, I can trust you now with 410s and just being able to work diligently but have time. Well, somebody who doesn't know how to steward that, what do I say all the time, right? What we don't understand, we typically abuse. And so sure enough, I quickly found myself abusing the very gift that God gave to me. And yeah, so serving is great. Never going to say not to serve, but
right, Jesus did.
When it becomes your identity or what you think you bring value-wise,
we got a different
it's
story.
still not on the right foundation. It's gonna crumble. And I think through our learning and through our willingness to just say, okay, we're trying to figure this out, God was still there the whole time, step by step, guiding and walking with us.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think I definitely found, especially on the work side, a toll of working too much. It quickly went from 410s to 6 days a week again, as much as I could, trying to play catch up, trying to learn and prove myself in a new area, you know, in an area that I don't think they do things the same. And so trying to build relationships with the inspectors and other subcontractors to make sure that we're successful became more than I thought.
Right.
Now, I do believe God only gives us what we can handle, but if we don't have the proper infrastructure, the right root system.
Yeah, we can add things.
Yep. We can
that
do things
were not
outside
necessary.
of His will and what He really wants and go before it. And so that's where we quickly found ourselves.
Yeah. So then Mateo turns 1.
So then, we move again church-wise. You know, we're meeting somewhere, we have to set up, do a lot. We move. Church becomes in the afternoon, which was a little hard for us. And I think at that place again of just kind of feeling worn out, but like, I think you're right, like a pruning, like an actual refining. It may have looked like retraction, but I think it was, the fire was getting hot.
Yeah, so when they moved to the new building, or we borrow a church, it's at 4 p.m. on Sundays. We meet, 6 p.m. on Thursdays, not when the church was meeting, so we were having to accommodate there. During that same pivotal time, we're kind of retracting. We're not like involved what it looks like from the outside, but we're still there. We're attending, but the Lord is just pruning us. He's really refining us. He's really just like rooting us in Him. And we start a home group of young adults that none of them go to our church. They all went to a different church.
Right.
Or churches. They didn't even go to the same, some of them didn't even go to the same church. And so we start this, we meet once a month, then it quickly turns to two times a month. Then it's like, oh my goodness, like this is a legit thing. Like we're doing life with these young adults. And, some of them were, one was married, right? No, not yet, but engaged, like, and now looking back, I mean, let's see, from our home group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yes.
Are either married or about to be married.
Yeah.
I believe. I think it's 5, it might be 4. And so it's just crazy because it's like,
it's crazy.
Wow, God. And like some of them were singles in there too, so it's not like they were all couples, but just like the Lord then brought them to us. We didn't do it. It was, I remember I was getting like to the point where I'm meeting with these girls. I'm trying to like figure out how to meet with them. They have lives, they have school, they have schedules, they have work, all the things. And then finally, like, I think majority of us were at coffee, or a small group of us were at coffee, and then the rest of them came in, and then it was kind of like we're all in the same place at the same time. And then it was like, okay, I called Tim. I was like, it was so amazing. This is what happened. He's like, dang, I just like really wish that would happen for me. Like, because I think the whole time, and I think sometimes even now, to be honest, like you're the one that's like so like ministry is something that tugs at you, and I'm like, I'm here, I'm just here, like, which is a whole nother conversation in itself. But anyway, and you were just like I long for that, and like it just keeps happening for you. And so I remember just going home and spending time with the Lord and like praying for these girls, praying for Tim. And the Lord was like, just text these girls in a group and be like, hey, from now on, can we just meet and like bring your boyfriends to the house? We'll feed you. I don't know what we're going to do exactly, but like, would you guys be up for this? And all of them were like, yes, 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 when? And so, and we made it on Saturday nights, which isn't an easy night of the week. They have church in the morning. And, yeah, so it started with 7. It ended with a lot more than 7.
Yeah. That's 25.
And it was crazy because, yeah, we fed them. They were willing to bring food. They were willing to, like, respect our time. They were in our house, so our kids are there. But, oh, yeah, they would come at, like, 5, and they wouldn't leave till, like, 1 a.m.
Yep.
And we have to, well, I mean, church was at 4 p.m., so it wasn't a big deal. But sometimes we would go visit another church or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was just crazy because it was like what God was doing was so pure. It was there, and like it was effortless.
Yep.
And I mean, it wasn't really effortless, but it felt effortless.
Yep. Very organic.
Yeah. And so then from that time period to we go through some things during the summer. We have a conversation with the people that we love. We start going through some things at work, and just like God was totally shaking. Like he was like, okay, so that's the first level of you trusting me and what I'm going to put in front of you. And then it was like that summer, God was like, I'm going to remove something, but can you trust me that I'm going to implement something better? And so he did. He removed, I mean, I would say he removed something and he implemented a way better thing. In the time it felt like this was comfort, we wanted to cling to this, and yet he brought the very thing that we needed, which sure are people that bring a different perspective and sometimes discomfort, but he was like, this season is over.
That's right.
Walk into the new one. And so
it's good.
Anyway, so we're going through some things at work, and I remember having a moment with you of just like at this specific job site, just being like, what do you want? Like, you were up on a ladder, I was sitting on the ground, the kids had just finished their homeschooling, and I was like, what do you want, Tim? Like, I need you to speak what you want. And I remember sitting there, and it felt like forever on my end, like you not saying anything, and then me just being like, I need you to, like, don't even think, just say it. And I mean, that moment, it was like, it became so real that like we are aligned, but we're both like shying away from the thing that God is calling us to together.
Yeah.
And so then that job just got progressively worse. And whether that was like mental or physical or whatever, like it just all around, the desire, everything was worse. And so we call upon Lars and Marisha. They come down. We literally have a work party. I know the kids and I were out there for a day or day and a half, maybe 2, and like we bust out this job, and just having those moments of like, you being out in the woods on this job, and instead of being secluded and isolated, you put the people around you that could hold you up, link arms with you, and say like, no, this, like what God is doing is real in your life. So just walk towards it. And so from there,
confronting season. I remember we were talking a lot about confronting in that season.
Yes. And it was funny because that August, so like this same timeline, God kept telling me about having an eager expectation. And so it was like, how can I have an eager expectation when everything we're walking through is just trial after awfulness after awfulness after, you know, being put down. Like, it just felt like there's no way I can like get up and walk. And the Lord was like, eager expectation.
Consider it pure joy.
And so it was just like, okay. And so then, you know, Lars and Marisha end up physically leaving, and in this process of all of these things, but like didn't leave really truthfully in proximity, they don't leave.
Right.
It was just a physical thing, but yet kept like pushing us to the things and having conversations to really help discern, guide, direct, always Christ-centered. And so then, we end up at Pastor Shane's kitchen table, and we're like, if we've done something, we're sorry. We're humbling ourselves, but also like, this is what we've been doing, not to hide, but to like, this is pure from God. Like, we can't even take credit. And then just finding ourselves the next week on his staff. Like, what happened? Super crazy.
Yeah.
And walking with him. So then we start the young adults at the church, at the Ben Church, or not even starting, because it had kind of already been started. We just kind of like took it and continued it.
Yep.
And so, we started doing that, where we were meeting just like twice a month. We're not in our building yet. At the time, we had a building that was being renovated, and so we couldn't meet in there, and we couldn't meet at the church that we were borrowing. So just kind of always finding like a place to meet, and again, like feeding them. Like, we just took what we did at home and we implemented it there. Like, that's what we knew, that's what felt right. And so feeding them, putting them in worship, really just ushering the presence of God, setting an atmosphere for them, just to partner with them, and then bringing something hopefully that would encourage them.
That's right.
And building relationships and community.
Yeah, let them hear the word, They got to hear the word to know what he sounds like, who he is.
Yeah.
And so they can have a reference. So encounter, word.
Yeah.
Like, just worked hand in hand. It always does.
Yeah. So then we get to the new year.
Yeah.
We've been in our building for 2 months, and then we went from meeting twice a month, basically every other week, to Pastor being like, this needs to be every week. And it was just like, oh my goodness.
Okay.
How do we do this now? We didn't sign up for that originally. And so we obviously are continuing that now. And just getting to watch the college ministry, because now we're helping in that aspect. So getting to be on campus, getting to be here at the church, just connecting with young adults, getting to hear their stories, where they come from, connecting with them, and just getting to partner with their life, like really truthfully partnering with their life and encouraging them that their relationship with God doesn't have to be limited, and it doesn't have to look a certain way.
Yeah.
And to really just teach them how to hear from God, how to feel his presence, and how to truly operate in freedom.
Yeah. Abundant life.
So.
Well, I love how it comes full circle, right? Because like, now we have not that it's about a reference and, this is how you do it, but to see all the things, to look back, like you said, right? Hindsight is always 20/20, but to look back, it's so clear.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense, and you can see him in every step. You can see his fingerprint on everything.
Yeah.
And then to be empowered and believed in from your pastor, and pushed, it wasn't our thing to be full-time and do that, but like, just be obedient again to what God is already doing, and to not wanting to limit it, to just say, okay, our answer will be yes, because if you were faithful then, you'll be faithful now. And we could just see that time and time again, that amazing just pattern of who he is. Then just being able to walk it out in real time, and to now generationally empower these kids, because it doesn't stop with us. It's not about us. And I don't want it to end with me or us. And so to get this revelation of like, okay, now I'm pouring into this next generation, who will then pour into our kids. So like, if I don't really teach and help direct them in this generation, what will my kids inherit?
Right.
And what will their kids inherit?
Right.
And so it's just been so amazing to see God pull people from, and continue to pull them from all over the country, and these special, genuine relationships of what God's doing has been just so incredible.
Yeah. So in this time frame too, I kind of missed a very pivotal thing to get us to where we are right now. We have this moment on this job. We talk to pastor. We are now twice a month doing young adults under his covering and church leadership. And we're still doing basketball. We're homeschooling. You're still at work. And God is slowly just like, nope, you're probably not going to keep working there. And so then we have our first like on campus worship night. The night before, one of our young adults calls us and he's like, hey, my dad he's very sick. Like, can you please come pray for him? And so we're like, we have all these things going on, and it was like, no, we're making time and space for this. So we go to Nashville, which is an 1.5-hour drive from where we are. And so we could only go at night though. Like, it was like this whole thing. So we go, we're there. It was amazing. Like, loved being there, loved the people. The nurses let us stay late. Like, it was a whole thing. But then on our way home, we're driving and we're talking and we're just talking about how good God is and like what he's doing in our lives. Mind you, this same week, we've like made the decision, like, we're going to start our own business. Or no, you're going to work somewhere else.
Yep. Not
even start our own business. Like, you're going to be quitting your job. And this is in the beginning of November, mind you. So like, not a great time to be doing that. And so it was like, cool, great. We're going to do this. And Lindsay having to wrap her head around that. And then all of a sudden, smack, like God with me and you, it's always this like, it's mainly me, but like, it's got to be this like head on thing. It's crazy. Lord, we can't keep doing that. I don't like it. We hit a deer. Actually, we hit a buck. If I get to remember it how I remember it in my mind, it happened in slow motion. There was a semi next to us. We're talking. All of a sudden, it's foggy, and all of a sudden, it's like, I just see it. Like, it is huge. And then all of a sudden, I just remember like being
pulling over.
I don't remember that. All I remember is like I was sitting there and I couldn't move. And I was like, Lord, if I'm about to open my eyes and see your face, I need you to make sure that my kids are okay. Like, I remember that going through my head. And I remember I couldn't hear anything. And like, then I started to hear you asking if I was okay. And I like couldn't respond. Like, I literally just could not respond. And so then finally, like, how I remember it is like, you keep asking if I'm okay. Finally, I unbuckle your seatbelt, which I think then in your mind, like I said, I'm okay. You go out and check the car. And I'm in my mind, like, I don't know if something's broken. And I have a high pain tolerance. Like, I'm not one to complain, but I was like, I could not. It took everything to like unbuckle your seatbelt. And in my head, I was trying to like tell Tim, like, unbuckle my seatbelt. Like, I need you to unbuckle my seatbelt. Like, I can't which is weird. Like, why didn't I just unbuckle myself? But like, I think it was like this fear of when I unbuckled my seatbelt, what was going to happen. And so finally you get in the car and you're like, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't know. Can you unbuckle me? And you unbuckle me because my seatbelt had locked up so bad that like I had bruises. It was bad. Like bruise wise. And it hurt. And my airbag deployed, which had scared you. Yours did not, but we hit it on Tim's side. My windshield was busted. Tim's was not. But mind you, it was all on Tim's side of the car that we hit it. Like,
yeah, I don't know if I like hit it and it must have like wrapped around or something. I don't know.
But there was a semi, like I remember a semi, like how did you get over all of the things? It was nuts. And so finally he's like, we can get home. And I'm like, our kids, like, and it's like 11 o'clock at night. Like they're asleep at home, but I'm just like, our kids. And he just kept saying, are you okay? And I'm like, in true Lindsay fashion, like, I'm fine. I don't know what's going on, but I'm fine. I'll be fine. And I remember it was a couple weeks of Lindsay not being fine internally. Like it was rough.
Right.
But yeah, we go to our worship. This is right before our worship night. We go to our worship night and it was great. It was amazing. And of course our like campus ministry head student, he was like, Lindsay, you're going to wash feet. And I was like, and we had not told any of them that we had gotten in an accident because we didn't want that to then shift their focus onto caring about what had happened to us. Yep. We wanted it to be focused on, the night and what was going to happen.
That's right. And
be expectant for God. And so I was like, Tim, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I don't know. And I ended up washing 20 people's feet.
You did a lot.
And I was like hurting the entire time, and nobody knew. And the whole time I'm like, Lord, like a total moment of like, I need your strength. Like this is totally not Lindsay's strength. But anyway, so yeah, we have to go through like and we only had one car. So having to walk through that for God to be like, how much do you actually trust me? To then, so that's the beginning of November. End of November, we decide we're starting our own business.
Yep.
Beginning of December, we get all of the things that we need in order. Middle of December, your 2 weeks are up, and then it's Christmas. We spend time with the kids. Beginning of the year, we're full blown in.
When did we go to the beach?
That was in August.
Okay, that was before?
That was when all the craziness was like happening, or right before it. So yeah, then and then pastor's like, oh, and we're going, you guys are going to meet every week.
Yep.
And we're starting a business. So it was a lot, but like amazing. If God had to push us into things the way that he does, like, I'm okay with that, Lord.
Right.
So yeah, we started our own business, and just watching God's hand in that take care of us.
Right.
And continually move us in the direction that he ultimately has always longed for us to be.
Yeah.
And but yeah, getting to just do ministry, not do ministry, getting to be a part of ministry, being the hands and feet of Jesus, walking with kids, walking with people, and then getting to live life on our own terms. Not that just means we have all this
right
freedom, but like just relying on the source. The source is the Lord.
That's
and
right.
Like that is how we live. If it's in his will, he's gonna provide it, and he's gonna walk us through it, and he's gonna make it happen.
That's right.
And so then I think then we just get to the point where we are today of like, here we are playing basketball. We're not, the kids are playing basketball, having a toddler run around. That's just pure joy and a gift. We're doing ministry. We're a part of ministry. I don't like how that sounds. We're a part of ministry, and we have our own business of just saying like, our time is our time.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing to us. And just getting to walk.
Well, making sure we're continuing to learn how to steward that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easy to ask for all these blessings and ask for these things from God. But what happens when he actually puts it in your hands?
Yeah.
And how do you actually live that out practically and not take it for granted and not abuse the gift that he's given us?
Right.
But to just keep that humble perspective, to see that his mercies are new every day.
Yeah.
Was huge because like I've done a lot in the construction world and been blessed to be around the best people in the industry.
Yeah.
And to learn what I've learned and know what I know, but yet always feel like I'm not worthy of my own business.
Mm-hmm.
And just to feel the grace on my life to say, well, you may not, but I am, and this is what I want to give you.
Yeah.
Was a hard thing. But we're a year in, and I've never had to market a job. Like, God has always provided. He's always come through, and it's his business. I just get to steward it.
Yeah.
And I get to be obedient and allow that to be my ministry. That was what God had showed us that whole time.
I love this full circle moment, and we'll end there. We have Mateo, which then pivots and shifts everything. Starts that. What does his name mean?
Gift from God.
And it's Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our business is Matthew 633. So it's coming out of the meaning of the gift, which is also Matthew. Pastor is telling us that the book of Matthew, I believe this is how he says it, is all about discipleship.
Mm-hmm.
And yet that is the very thing of Matthew 6:33. Sure, is seek first the kingdom, and I love that it says it'll be abundantly given, but how it's truly like, look at where it started and look at where it is right now, because it's not ended. But just how amazing God is to be so intentional with us, that he knows He knows.
Yeah.
And
well, we knew in that time, right? Like we were saying that, like, sure, we're birthing something physically, but what is God actually birthing?
Yeah.
A miracle.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just love it. God is so good. And I mean, like, to be able to speak and say that, like, we don't see him in our life is just, that'd be heresy.
He's too big of a God to miss.
Right. Way too big.
We're always searching, where's God and all this? He's everywhere.
Just start speaking it and you'll see it.
That's right.
Yep. Sometimes it's just our own minds that want to block us.
That's right.
It's actually a powerful tool, and we don't use it to the full capacity of what it is to actually be able to see the goodness, because our minds don't want us to. It wants to stay stuck. And so that's where we have to remind ourselves and speak it out loud of who God is. And that's what I think even in this, that's what Tolo is just reminding us, like, we can't miss God.
That's right.
We may have lived in a season where we did, but that's no longer what we will do. So,
Amen.
Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We finished.
Boom.
We finished. Well, we finished that section. I'm really excited for the next few that we're going to do. Well, I'm excited for all of them, but I specifically sat down and wrote down some topics and whatnot. And so I'm really excited for what's to come.
It's good.
Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part. And I hope that this has blessed you and you continue to show up and that you continue to just see God in everything that's happening in your life. Even if it feels so small, so insignificant, one conversation, one intentional coffee with somebody, one intentional Bible verse, it doesn't matter. God is in it and he's with you. He's sitting right beside you. He's walking with you and he's already gone before you. So you really have nothing to fear other than walking in the light that he's given you.
That's good.
So just go out there, enjoy life, live it how God intended it to be, and watch how fruitful it becomes.
That's right. That's good.
So
preach it, girl. You're already getting ready.
We will see you guys next week.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.